Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still going. If you haven't had all level 2 GP Soldados, smash that subscribe button. Go and have them smash you right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to all the patronis, all the members of the website. Thank you. None of this would be possible without you. Stay tuned for your well-deserved shout out at the end. And if you haven't already signed up, make sure you hit that link in the description below. You're definitely missing out. This episode right here, man, I was wrong. I was wrong. Your boy Hector Bravo got it wrong. All right. Recently, I came out on the Capone News YouTube. That interview was after me coaching a softball game, 8U in the heat, right? Not making excuses, but damn, this ain't easy, right? Especially when I ask you guys to give me information and I get zero information. So I went on to Capone News and they made a reel of it on Instagram. And what I said was all level 1 prisons are deemed no good per prison politics. And I'll get into that. All level 2 prison politics are deemed no good, or all level 2 yards are deemed no good per prison politics. And they have now began to integrate level 3. When I said that, I firmly believed all level 2s were no good in the eyes of gangsters, right? Actives. That just goes to show you that the higher-ups, and I've been out of the game for 2.5 years, did not reiterate anything, which I've always said, to the lower enlisted, lieutenant, sergeant, and officer. That's a fact. All right, so now what does this all mean? All right. On the Instagram, people tapped in and said, these level 2s are actually GP, general population. Soledad, Old Folsom, Solano, and where are we at? This one says Corcoran level 2 question mark, which I don't know if that is or isn't. And then this one says Satif B yard. So approximately 4 or 5 level 2 yards are still in good standings in accordance to prison politics. Now, if you're not from California, there is a point system. All right, there was at one point security levels, level 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the old days, it made sense. Level 1 with your trustees, you'd see them out at the park picking up trash. Level 2s were more secured inmates. Level 3 can be on and popping a lot of riots. And then your level 4s, GP killers, right? Your killers. I'm not going to mention ADSEG. I'm not going to mention SHU. All right. Around the time frame of 2019-ish, CDCR and all their wisdom and politics and agenda and propaganda and filth began what was called the non-designated program. In essence, it was mixing enemies. Oh, Hector, what's wrong with mixing enemies? All right, listen to me. If you apply for the California Department of Corruption and Retaliation, you have duties, obligations, policy, morals, values, ethics, or you should. One of those is preservation of life. Okay, so inmates' life, staff members' life, and the public life. We have seen the results, 90, of not taking that into consideration. Thank you, Hector. That's the backstory. So what does it all mean? All right, I had to make this video. Why? Because I understand the importance of speaking recklessly. All right, saying the wrong things. There are still men incarcerated in prison that have to oblige by the prison set of rules, whether it be the CO's rules, the department's, or the inmates' rules. But why, Hector? Can't you just force them all to get along? We tried that. They tried that. I didn't. So, for the record, there are still level 2 GPR, general population, in 2025, as of September 16, 2025. But here's the kicker and the question mark. Why would they do that? Why would CDCR, now that I have this information, began an integration process in the first place? Start integrating level 1s, level 2s, and fire camps and MCRPs, halfway houses. Have it be in a fucking atrocity. Somehow, some way, hold on to 4 or 5 level 2 GP yards and then start integrating level 3s. I know it's complicated. I know it's confusing, but it matters. It matters to those that it matters to. That's why I felt obligated to make this video. All right. None of what I do is easy, especially when I have zero information coming in. All right. So as far as I'm concerned, if I'm putting in the work daily, right, and you're a spectator, then you're simply a spectator. But for me to make a reel and then you guys want to come at me like I got my shit all wrong, which I did. I did. You got to understand where I'm coming from. Despensa en la tira. I should have put two and two together, but it didn't. It slipped my mind. There are heavy hitters that are level 2s, right? And what I thought was like, they're heavy hitters. They can say they're good when they're good. Right? Who's going to question them is what I thought. Secondly, I failed to remember Moneyside Suede's murder, which took place at Soledad CTF on a level 2. That's it in a nutshell. Now, where do we go from here? I don't know. I just apologized. That's all I can get. An apology. That's all I can give. An apology. My bad. Despensa. I try to put forth facts, documentation, and evidence. They got it wrong that time. That's the second time I've gotten something wrong in my journey of almost 3 years. The first one was when they put out a fake memo with frickin' McCumber's DocuSign signature saying they were going to close CCWF. That was wrong. That was a hoax, a prank. And then this one. So, my bad. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't spoken out the side of my neck in any other thing I've said, unless you guys clarify, which is a reiteration. If you guys want me to help you, all love you. This is a team effort, and I've always said this, right? Somebody just, right as I hit the record button, I looked back at that reel, and somebody said, we taking gang politic advice from COs now, correctional officers. It was a black dude, right? So I had to check. First of all, had it been a Mexican, that'd be a little different, right? Because they actually have politics, structure, no disrespect, but that's just the reality of things inside. No, Hector, I was on a level 4, high desert state prison, and the blacks had it on lock. You hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? But, or a white. Well, I don't even know about the whites anymore, to tell you the truth. It's hard. Nowadays, everything got turned upside down. It's a Wild West, which is what I've always fucking preached to you, man. Now, to say, why do we take advice, gang politics from a correctional officer? And my instant response was, because I could walk up to your big homie and talk to him, and you can't. Number one. Number two is, don't ever think you cannot get educated from anybody, even your perceived opposition. All right. I have learned a lot through studying the enemy. Art of War, Sun Tzu. Are they my enemy? No. Were they then? That's what my department had led me to believe. I was a firm believer. With that, the message for today is, I showed you guys how to accept accountability. All right. Accountability, I got it wrong. Is it hard to accept accountability? For me, it's not. For others, it is. All right. For the department, it's impossible. Number one. Number two is, you can learn something from everyone. Now I'm speaking to my daughter. Baby, even if there's a motherfucker in the room that you don't like and you're looking at them, observing them like I taught you, pay attention. Pay attention to what they say, what they don't say, their mannerism, their demeanorism, and study. With that, this episode was sponsored by the following patrons.